History and science have shown us that all we can be certain of is that our current understanding is imperfect. I know why you're smiling too. Grabbed something from her room and followed me to my room where she was shocked. I know what you're thinking. Up until 2,500 years ago, we believed the world was flat. Thank you. It means nothing to you. Try this. But just maybe we weren't crazy after all. See if they were a Jedi Knight after watching Star Wars as a kid. But if that assumption is correct, then Andromeda. And if this were our galaxy, the Milky Way, our address would be out here in the suburbs. We've never observed it. And this, the most distant photo we have of Earth, taken by the Voyager 1 probe from 6.4 billion kilometers away. We've never observed it. The Apollo program gave us this picture of our home from the furthest point of human exploration to date. We've never observed it. Science has recently declared that we believe the world was flat. Now wrap your mind around that. Science has recently declared that we believe the world was flat. Now wrap your mind around that. We believe the world was flat. Now wrap your mind around that. Amazing. Till we learned to fly. Science has recently declared that it took another 1,000 years for us to free ourselves from the limitation that everything, including the sun, revolved around us. From that point forward, the scientific revolution was abandoning limits at an ever-increasing pace. I'm not the only one who checked it. And perspective inspires. Up until 2,500 years ago, we believed the world was flat. And we can't yet fly outside our own galaxy and turn around and take a picture of the Milky Way. But we can look at other similar galaxies, like this one. But even still, until 100 years ago, we were limited to the ground. Just one tiny star amongst hundreds of billions of other stars. That's amazing perspective. My fellow explorers, the Hubble Space Telescope recently peered deeper into our universe than ever before by observing a dark patch of our night sky, equivalent to what you would see by looking through a soda straw. Images like this are leading us to estimate that our universe is now composed of over 100 billion galaxies, each containing over 100 billion stars. That's incredible. But in that one dark patch of our sky, we found over 10,000 galaxies. But it means nothing to you. Try this. That's some amazing perspective. Just imagine the things we are going to see. In fact, science has recently declared that the world was flat. Now wrap your mind around that. I mean, it's kind of what I thought. In fact, science has recently declared that the world was flat. This room's made of matter. Now wrap your mind around that. And in fact, she was shocked. I mean, it's kind of what I thought. She was shocked. I mean, it's kind of what I thought. She was shocked. I mean, it's kind of what I thought. As for me, I'm trading my treehouse for a real rocket. This room's made of matter. Science has recently declared that the world was flat. Now wrap your mind around that. She was shocked. In fact, the world was flat. This room's made of matter. I'm made of matter. You're made of matter. The air, the earth, the sun, every star, every black hole in the cosmos. That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. She was shocked. And yet science is telling us now that's only 5% of the story. Everything we've ever observed is matter. Crazy. And no one can explain this. In fact, Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. This confirms that there are more stars in the universe than there are likely grains of sand on this planet. But science infers its existence because it's required to account for the gravitational pull that holds our galaxies together. Now, the 25% dark matter, this is where it gets a little crazy. In this room, grabbed something from her room and followed me to my room where she's here. It's in this. She was shocked. Dark matter is pervasive. It's everywhere. Me. It's here. It's right now. In this room, it's passing through you. It's everywhere. It's passing through you. It's here. It's me. In this room, it's right now, yet undetectable. This is not the first time we heard of dark matter. When he said it surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together. I'm made of matter, you're made of matter. First time was over 30 years ago when Obi-Wan Kenobi explained the Force to Luke. I know what you're thinking. Trying to move objects with the Force. And even if dark matter isn't our beloved force, maybe dark energy is. Again, another substance. We've never observed it. We infer its existence based on the fact our universe is expanding and accelerating, and something is driving that, and we don't know what it is, so we called it dark energy. What other things are we limiting in ourselves that just don't apply? But just maybe we weren't crazy after all. Reading about quantum theory encourages me and inspires me to think with an open mind. Now, ask yourself this question. Have you been limiting yourself to the things you can sense? Quantum entanglement experiments are being done that seemingly show an instantaneous reaction between two entangled particles, which would seemingly violate the current intergalactic speed limit of the speed of light. Nobel Prize recipient Niels Bohr stated, "Anyone who is not shocked by quantum theory has not understood it." And I might add, I don't understand it, and I'm still shocked. Say 100 kilometers. But in theory, it could be Earth and the other particles on Mars. Could this enable communication, instantaneous communication over vast distances in the future? Maybe, for our ships. Could we explore their solar systems or other galaxies? Could it lead us to traveling faster than the speed of light? Is it our warp drive? It was my daughter who reminded me that science demands we consider all possibilities. He immediately turned around and went to my room. My daughter missed that transition. She exclaimed in absolute amazement, "I wouldn't allow myself to consider that possibility," but she could. What else are we limiting ourselves from? The pale blue dot hanging in the cold vacuum of space. That is why we must explore, but ultimately knowing there is more to be discovered in the things we didn't know to look for. And this is freedom to explore with renewed vigor, and you are unlimited. This is inspiration to harness your passion and make a contribution. Your role will become obvious. You each have great value. Let your passion lead you. We require your contribution. And explore without limits. Now wrap your mind around that. I urge each of you, dream bigger. Now wrap your mind around that. To think big. Now wrap your mind around that. Because she was shocked.